Hey everyone, I hope you had a great time with your families over this Thanksgiving. I just got back from California yesterday and I was able to see my family and celebrate Thanksgiving and hang out with my cars a little bit. That was fun. But I've been itching to make a video, so today I thought I'd show you pickups of Thanksgiving time. Now I realized, I think about a year ago, that this is actually the best time, in my opinion, to go out to your Goodwills and pawn shops and all that kind of stuff to find games. I think it's probably because, people know Christmas is coming and they're planning on getting some new stuff, so they want to get rid of their old stuff. But, last year I found a huge amount of Xbox 360 games all at once, along with an Xbox 360. And this year I found some pretty interesting stuff too. This is all stuff that I just got in the last couple weeks at Goodwills and Savers. So I got a nice little haul of stuff to show you guys here. And I guess we'll get started. So let's see here. My first thing I'll show you. Now this little haul is from Savers. This was about, I'd say close to 2 weeks ago. But I went on their 50% off sale day and I found some cool little stuff. I got California Games for the NES, and this was 50% off, so I paid $5 for it. And I never had this for the NES growing up. I did play this on my buddy's Apple II computer, like way back when I was a little kid. So I thought I'd pick it up and maybe see if it'll bring some nostalgia back. Who knows? And this one, I got a copy of Left 4 Dead for the 360 here. And this one was $3. Unfortunately, look at that, no disc. But the reason I grabbed it was because I already got a disc-only copy of this game. And now I can finally put that disc in its home. And then I'll have the first one and the second one. That was cool. Now this was interesting. I've actually never played any of these Black Ops games yet, but I saw this cool little metal tin. And this is Call of Duty Black Ops, the first one, I guess, for the 360. And usually when I see these kind of collector tins out in the wild, they're just thrashed, they're dented, bent, beaten up, scratched. And so usually I just pass on them, but this one was in still really nice shape. It's got a few little wear marks on it, like on the bottom. But for $3, I thought I couldn't go wrong, and someday I'll try this out, Black Ops. And what else did I find there? I found a copy of Star Wars Battlefront 2 for the Xbox. And this one is actually a Hollywood video rental, you can see on the back there. But it came complete, and the disc, if I remember right, it looked pretty good. Yeah, it's dirty, but it's not scratched, so I can clean this up, and you'll see coming up a little later in the video, I've actually got another complete copy of this game too. So I never had these for the Xbox before, but I've heard the graphics on the Xbox version are far superior than the PS2 version, so yeah, I thought that would be a nice little thing to add to the collection. Now this one I already have too. Why did I get this? I think I got kind of like a beat up copy of this, so this one I grabbed just because it was like $2.50 and maybe I could kind of piece things together to make a little nicer copy. Yeah, this looks pretty good. Ooh, it's got a hair on it. I don't know how that got stuck on there, but yeah, these things usually need some cleaning. But as long as they're in good shape, overall, and they're not, trashed, you can do a little cleaning and then you'll have a nice copy for your collection. Got a copy of Ninja Gaiden for the Xbox. And this game I already have too. This is another game I grabbed just to update my other copy. I think this one has a nicer disc in it. I think that's why I grabbed it. And then I can just, sell whatever leftovers that I don't want. Now this one was kind of interesting. This one I've not seen out in the wild ever before. This was Deus Ex Invisible War. I think that's how you pronounce it, Deus Ex. And I guess this is kind of an uncommon game for the Xbox, but I found a very nice copy here. The case is a little beat up, so I'm probably going to replace that, but the disc looks filthy, but scratch-free, and yeah, that'll be interesting. I've actually never played any of these. Oh, Deus Ex, I think is how you pronounce it. That's what I've heard before. But yeah, I've got the one for the PS3. I know there's one for PS4. I haven't played any of these series yet. So maybe when I do, I'll start on this one and see, how the things progress. And this is not a game, but I found a copy of Outlaw Star for $5. And this is kind of, I think it's a 90s anime. When this is from? Yeah, 1998. And it's, one of these box sets here. And I've already seen this. I already have actually a kind of a nicer box than this one. But I know on eBay these things sell very easily, so I just grabbed this and I will pop it up on eBay. Pretty cool little anime. If you guys never seen it, it's very silly. It's like one of these science fiction space cowboy kind of things. Yeah, so that was everything I found at the Savers like 2 weeks ago. That was all in one trip. And I think the next little set of stuff I got was from Goodwill. Yes. So we got a nice little set of games here. Oh, some of these are not games. I forgot what I got here. Yeah, this was before Thanksgiving. I went to the Goodwill, and the first thing I want to show you guys is I found an unopened Forza 2 Xbox 360 faceplate, and this was $4. I didn't get any discount on it, but I thought, hey man, that is a good deal for a brand new faceplate, especially for a game that I enjoy. So I might not ever use this, but I couldn't pass it up. And we got a copy of V-Rally 3. This is an old Atari game. I think they actually made this game right before I got hired there. I remember kind of seeing copies of it floating around. But I played it back in the day, and it is actually kind of a solid racing game, a rally game, even though Atari made it. And yeah, I'll have to try this one out again. Yeah, it's got 480p graphics. We got Subarus and Evos in there, so that should be good. That case is disgusting, so I'll probably just throw out the case. And here's the other copy of the Star Wars Battlefront 2. And this one, nice complete copy. This one's actually much nicer than the rental copy, I think. Oh, but the disc is not nicer, so I'll probably take the rental copy disc and throw it in here just because it's in better shape. And then I'll keep the manual case for this guy. Very smooth. Now these are not games, but I saw some WWF Diva DVDs, which I thought I'd grab. And these look a little older ones. I think these were the girls that were doing it when I used to actually watch wrestling, so I couldn't pass these up. These are $1.50 a piece, so I grabbed them. And we got a Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2. My buddy Dean was telling me about this game, and he said this actually isn't the best version of this. He said the PS2 version is the best version of this game. But I've never tried it, and I think I actually might have another copy of this lying around somewhere too. So I will kind of do the same thing, piece together the nicer papers and discs, and I'll keep whatever copy that is. And I'm sure it's fun, even though it's maybe not the best version of it. And we got a copy of Amped, which I don't have. I have Amped 2, and I do not have this one. And I believe Amped 2 is one of the few Xbox games that has, like 720p graphics? Like one of the, or maybe even 1080i. It's like one of the nicer graphics, even though it doesn't say on the back, but it actually has. But I don't know if this the same as the second one or not. But we got another snowboarding game. And we got Tiger Woods PGA Tour 03. And I don't know what it is. This is kind of like the only sports games that I ever pick up at all. Especially kind of these older Tiger Woods games. I kind of have a fond memory of playing them back when, the PS2 was new still. And this was a nice, fresh-looking copy, so I grabbed it. I've got 04, which I think was the one I mostly played back in the day, but I got 03 and see how it is. You see, got a copy of Burnout 3 Takedown, which I already have, but it is an excellent game, and I think I can sell it pretty easily on eBay still. I think these go for at least $10 still, so grab that. And I got a Corvette Evolution GT game for PS2. I've never actually heard of this one. It looks to be like a solely Corvette racing title. And usually I know with the Ford racing titles that they weren't very good. But we'll see. We'll check this one out. It's made by Falcon Games. Could be good, could be bad. Who knows? It's a fun thing about pickups. You can try stuff out. And there's another little haul, if you will. I think I got this, this was last week I got this right before I went to California. But I stopped by a non-sale Saturday, and I got a nice little haul of stuff here. I got Katamari Forever for the PS3. Picked that up for $4. And this one is easily sellable as well. And these games are kind of fun, actually. If you've never tried them out, they're very goofy, silly, like Japanesey. You're rolling up stuff on the floor to make like a big ball of garbage, basically. And I think you just kind of progress in levels and make bigger and bigger stuff. But yeah, that's a good one. And I found a brand new and sealed copy of 3D Dot Game Heroes. And this is an Atlas title, which I never really heard too much about when it came out. And I picked this up for $4 too. And I'm gonna have to do a little research on this one actually, because the concept sounds kind of interesting and it's a very unique game. And I'll have to decide if I want to open it and play it, or if I'd rather have like $30 where I could sell it on eBay. So let me know, guys, if you've ever tried this game or if you know anything about it. And I got a copy of Angry Birds Trilogy. Now, I've got a guilty pleasure on my mobile phone. I play Angry Birds 2 on there all the time. I think that's about the only mobile game I've really enjoyed playing. But this one is probably not as good as Angry Birds 2, but I thought for a console, it might be interesting just to try out. I grabbed that. Yeah, that was also $4. Probably more than it's worth. I was in a giving mood, so I gave some money to Goodwill. And I've already got a copy of this one too, but I grabbed this just to sell on eBay. It's Super Mario Brothers for the Wii, and it's a very nice, complete copy. And I paid $4 for that, but I think this goes for at least $15, so make a couple extra bucks on that one. And I found a movie, Trading Places. You guys remember this one? When they make this one. This is 1983. This is an old one. And I don't think I saw it when I was a kid. I think I saw it later, like when I was a teenager. But this is a great movie. It's got Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy. Great comedy, if you guys like the older comedies from back then. And I got another movie, just kind of on a whim. I saw this, and I said, "Oh, it's Flight of the Navigator." And this game, or this movie, I actually remember from when I was a really little kid. I think this one's from '82. And I watched the hell out of this movie when I was a little kid, I remember. So I was kind of surprised to see like a DVD of it, because I think we just have like a copied VHS version off the TV or something. So this one looks actually pretty good. And I thought I'd grab this to save this for my kids when they get it. Well, I don't have kids yet, but my future kids, I guess, when they're old enough to watch it. That was a cool little haul from Goodwill. And the last... Oh no, I got a couple more separate. I actually went to a Sabres in California when I was here this past weekend. And I got a lovely copy of Ratchet and Clank. Now, I've never gotten into these games. I've never actually played them more for like a minute. But this one, it just looks so minty, I couldn't pass it up. And I did pay $7 for it, which is probably about as much as you pay on eBay. But, yeah, it was for a thrift store, and I thought, you know, time for giving. And this is a PS2 game, but it's in progressive scan, so you get the nice 480p graphics with it. And I'll check it out. Now this one I was really happy to see. This one I paid $7 for too, but this one's actually worth a little more money. This is the Epic Metal Gear Solid HD collection. And this is like remastered versions of the PS2 titles. So you got Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3, and then you also got this one, Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, which I had never heard of, but I found out is actually a PSP game from back then. So you actually get a kind of a unique game that I would never buy otherwise except on this collection. And this thing is very minty, so I was very happy to get this. And I still haven't played my old ones for the PS2. Now this is a tricky situation. I've never had this situation before where I have both in my possession the original versions of a game and the remastered that I haven't played. And usually I like to play the original versions just to see kind of like, you know, what they were able to pull off with all the art and the technology of the time. And then, you know, if I really like a title, I'll enjoy going back to it with the HD version or the, you know, remastered title and, you know, just kind of enjoy it again with a little better graphics. So maybe you guys let me know what you like to do. I'm kind of thinking I just want to play the PS2 versions first, but then again, I could just be put off by them, by the old technology. So let me know what you think. If this one I should play first or the PS2 games. And yeah, I'd appreciate that. Alright, last but not least. Today, I went to Goodwill, and I found a little like sleeved copy of Wii Sports, which is in very good shape, and I did pay $3.30 for that one. But I've been trying to sell a bunch of my Wii consoles. I think I've got like 6 more I need to sell. So this will help me with a bundle, I think, of getting another Wii console out the door. I've actually sold like 3 of them in the last month, so I'm doing all right. But I still got a bunch more to sell. And this is a game that I actually saw in a Metal Jesus Rocks, like a Wii Hidden Gems video that he did. And he's actually done some like good ideas during those videos. So this was an excellent copy of Boom Blocks. And I mean, it looks kind of hokey from the cover, but he said it's actually really good and it's really fun. And I guess it's like some kind of puzzle game or something where you're playing maybe even co-op and you're trying to knock down these towers of blocks or something. So I was happy to grab that and I'll check it out. And I think that's... Oh! You know, I'm gonna have to cut away for a second. I forgot some stuff. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I just realized that I left some guides in the other room that I wanted to show you guys too that I just grabbed. And this one I found at Sabres. This was not really in the best shape, but I've never seen a Mario Sunshine guide hanging around. And this is like the official Nintendo Power Guide, I guess. And you got a nice color guide here. I've actually never played this game, but it's kind of like one of those Mario games that I'd like to get one of these days. I don't want to pay eBay prices for it, but if I ever do see it out in the wild, I'd enjoy trying it for sure. And this one came from Goodwill. This is Little Big Planet. And this is another one of these Brady game guides. It's just enormous. And I do own this game. I've tried it for maybe an hour, and then I got sidetracked and I never went on to it. But you know, I see these guys literally for like $1.50 at Goodwill. I can't pass it up. I just need to grab it, especially when it's, you know, in such nice shape. Yeah, same thing happened with this one. I just couldn't pass it up. This is World of Warcraft Burning Crusade. And I'm not even sure this game is playable anymore because it's, you know, like a PC game only as far as I know. And I think this is not even like the original World of Warcraft. It's like a what do you call it? An add-on, I guess. Expansion pack. That's what it is. But it's a cool guide. And I might just sell this on eBay if you know, people are interested in World of Warcraft stuff. I don't know. I'll never play it. if any of you guys want it, I'll mail it to you. But I was really happy to see this one. I do enjoy Borderlands 2, and I found this awesome hardcover game guide for it. It's like almost brand new looking. It doesn't have any scratches on it or anything. Pages are all nice and crisp still. Lovely. And you got kind of a, I don't know if you guys can see it, it's got like a gold laminated cover on there. Pretty fancy. So I'll definitely keep this. This is nice. That makes me want to play Borderlands 2 again, actually, just looking at these pictures and everything. They got nice thick pages with color. Very good. That was one of the things I was really happy to find this month. Now this last thing I show you, this was a complete like random thing. I was at Goodwill last night and I just thought I'd stop there. I had to pick up my wife from work. So I was like, oh, you know, I'll leave a little early, stop by the Goodwill on the way there. And I went through their games, didn't find any games, and I'm just ready to leave. And all of a sudden I'm like, okay, maybe I should go back, check out the electronics, just, you know, to see what they got. And I ran into this thing. Now, when I first saw this, I'm like, what the hell is this? Is this like a, you know, like some kind of custom, you know, like arcade stick for PS3 or PS4 or something? And I looked at the back of it, and it's got, you know, hookups to just plug directly into the TV. So I'm like, oh, I bet I know what this is. And I kind of seen these before floating around on eBay. These are, I think they come right from China, but they've got, I think, like hundreds of just old arcade games already loaded onto them. And you can play them on your HD televisions. Now, when I first saw this, I'm like, okay, there's no power cord. This thing's sitting here at Goodwill. It's probably broken. And I was almost ready to leave it on. Okay, well, I can take a risk on it. And, you know, I'll just return it if it is broken. Waste a little time, but oh well. So I went to their electronics section where they have, you know, the walls of like AC chargers, and I'm sorting through them. I finally find one that's for the 12 volt that it says on the back here. And I found an outlet at the Goodwill there too. I plugged it in, and you know, obviously I can't plug it into a TV there, but I just saw that the thing lit up when I plugged in plugged it into the outlet. So I'm like, okay, well at least we got power coming into it, so I'll give it a shot. And I took it home, and that thing actually does work. Now I haven't tested it extensively. I think there might be some problem that I'm not aware of. But I played like King of Fighters games. I tried one for like the Saturns, like Cyberbots, something like that. And I mean, they just have hundreds of pages to go through of just old games that you can play. And I did have one of the King of Fighters games did crash, I think, and it kind of rebooted this thing, and then it just went back to the menu. But the other games I didn't have any problems with. I was just able to play them. And I was like, wow, this is so weird to find this. Definitely not something I'd buy on eBay at full price, but for $15, I thought I'd pick it up. And I'm gonna have to test this some more. I might have to open it up and fix something. I think maybe some of the buttons are not calibrated to the right spots. I'm not sure though. I'm gonna have to look at it. But this is definitely a coolest find of the month, I thought. And who knows? You know, maybe I'll gonna make like an arcade out of this someday, because you know I can plug it into my TV up front there, but it might be cool just to have this on like a bar or something, and get some drinks going, play some arcade games, some old fighting games against your friends. I think that'd be really cool. I definitely want to get a new graphic for this. This graphics kind of gay, so we'll see. My next project. Alright guys, well I hope you enjoyed. Like I said, you guys got to get out now during this time and just check the Goodwills and all the pawn shops and stuff, because this is the time where you get just kind of wacky finds that you'd never expect. So I hope you had a good one, and I'll see you later. Happy holidays.